by the way.
YouTube.
Brilliant. Listen, sorry YouTube, we had a bit of a technicality. We had a slow start, but listen, you're with us now, and don't worry, you haven't missed much.
And Trisha Kenny is back on tonight, and she's on photo duty.
Okay,
she got great
Trisha,
photographs last night.
And make sure you tell me when you're taking the photograph so you get me good side, and not all the ones you took last night would be me big mouth open wide. So in your kit, everybody will have different types of material. So here we have some red raffia, and I have some organza. But maybe some of you got some like this wide ribbon here, or maybe you got some velvet ribbon. Give us a shout out and let us know what type of ribbon you've got in your kit. If you're on the Zoom, hold it up to the camera so Deirdre can see. We have
Moriarty, she never got a care sheet in her box.
Did she not? Don't worry about it. Half of them didn't even look at the care sheet anyway, so don't worry about that, Captain. But they were the pixies that were making the kits up. So we have some tartan ribbon. We have this one here, which is called Rupert the Bear. We have some gold glistening ribbon. We have some velvet ribbon, and we have the Hessian ribbon. So anybody that probably went for the naturals, the tutti frutti, you probably have the Hessian ribbon in there. So our first lesson is on how to make the bow. So first things first is the paper ribbon that I sent out to you in your kit. If you unravel that, I probably should have told everybody to get a scissors before they start, okay? So also, who's drinking? Is there anybody drinking?
Oh, well, I tell you, up in Sarah's house, there's a few of them there with plenty of glasses of wine. Gail has wine on the table. Avril, she has it out again.
Give us a big cheers there. Give us a big cheers. Anybody then?
Have you any now? A little alcohol there with you to keep you going?
You know yourself the way these classes work. The more alcohol you drink, the more creative that you get. Now, Leah has a few call-outs there.
So I have people from Ballyfermot.
Yeah, who's watching in from Ballyfermot?
I'll tell you now, I think it's...
Doesn't matter.
Okay, move on to the next one.
I've Joan from County Armagh.
Hey, Joan, how are you?
Angela from Roscommon, Mary from Cork, Bernie from Galway, and Susan from Wales, and Maureen from Chicago.
Wow, a big hello to Maureen in Chicago. You're more than welcome. So you have some of this florist ribbon in your kit, and what you're going to do is tear that into 4. It tears really easy. So literally the tops of your fingers, split it in half again, and split it in half again. You'll only need 2 of them, by the way, but I'm making you tear it into 4 just for the practice of it. Now, if anybody has the organza in their kit, you have to make a bow with the organza. The organza is actually one of the easier ones, I think, to work with. So when you're making this bow, hitting off me bobbles, you're going to pretend that you're putting a scarf around somebody's neck and you're going to cross it under their chin. But in real life, okay, we have to do this up in the air. So here we are, around the neck, crossing it under the chin there, and then you're able to bring in what I call the back of the neck. You're going to bring it into the front of the neck, and then we're going to tie a little bit of that florist ribbon around the centre. So we have a skinny little bit of the green ribbon, which we're going to tie around the centre, and we're going to tie a double knot as tight as we can. Now I'm going to do a few bows, so don't be panicking, okay? The first one or two.
Jeanette, your PT's wife is on. Janice is watching in.
Yeah. Now, there's somebody coming later on, and I know there's going to be a big call out for, I think Janice might have 3 little children in her house. So I just keep a listen out for the bell, and when we hear the bell, we'll know he's on the way.
Spicy B is on, and she's over on Instagram. She's watching in from...
B, are you making your kit there tonight? Hopefully you have your wreath kit out there, and make sure that you all take some photographs, because that was something that we missed out on last night. We never thought of actually taking photographs as we went along. So if anybody is there, take photographs even of your laptop, your phone, your Zoom class, whatever, and then you can WhatsApp them on to me later on. Now again, for our next bow, again with this piece of ribbon, I'm going to show you where we can wrap. This one is a little bit long, so I'm going to actually make it a little bit shorter to start off with. So we get a ribbon, and we're going to pretend that we're wrapping it up. Can you hear
Jeff's iPad is wrapping it around somebody's neck.
Okay.
As I'm watching it. But come on anyway.
Can you hear any jingle bells or anything?
No, not really.
No, can't hear anything yet.
No, you're all right.
Okay. So we're going to get our piece of ribbon, and we're going to wrap it around as if you were wrapping it around somebody's neck. And you're going to grab the back of the ribbon, and you're going to bring level in with... Do you know why we can't hear anything? Because you know what? Some feck in Egypt, when he was drunk, he left it behind. I hope the kids aren't listening to that. But you listen, we pretend we didn't see that part. So here we have our bow, and what we're going to do is we're going to scrunch it in there. Nice. Oh, there he is. How are you, Santi? How are you? Jesus, you were missed, you were.
Hello, everybody. How are you? Merry Christmas. Merry
So we
Christmas.
have lots of children watching tonight. We have
We
Santi.
have
And
we?
they're all looking out for a big, we've actually some big children
We
as
have
well.
some big children.
So
Oh
listen,
my
we
God.
pass this to you there, and we'll start giving a few call-outs there. Now, you had problems with that name there, but
I
she's
know.
watching. I know
Who,
she's
Helena?
watching. Helena.
Oh, Helena Houlihan.
Not
Oh.
Houlihan, Gil Hooley.
Get Hooley.
Now, the next few,
Yes.
I know the next few are on the Zoom
Oh,
class here.
Fiona Bow.
Fiona Bow.
Oh my God. Andrea Farrell.
Well, we call her Adrian, but Andrea sounds nice.
Oh.
But come on, what's the next one?
Oh yeah. Bridge Lindsay.
Bridge Lindsay, that's a sister
Yeah.
of one of them.
Audrey Keegan.
You know Audrey,
Oh,
don't
she's
you?
a bit long with the tooth
She's
there,
a
looking
bit
for
longer than
looking
you.
for presents.
Looking for, I tell
Oh
you,
my
have you got
God.
any presents with you tonight, have you?
Oh.
Who else have we
Oh,
got?
we have presents. Yes, we
Have
have
you?
presents. Yes,
Well, I
we
seen
have.
you left, I don't know where the bag has
Here
gone
we
now.
are,
I
here.
seen you left the bag behind you there, Santi. So what's
Yeah.
in the bag?
Now, have a look at some of them for the children there, the colour things.
Okay, right. Now I see we have James Murphy from Port Arlington.
Yeah,
oh my
here we
God.
are.
I'd say James would love
He'd
one of
love
these.
one of them.
So these are highlighter markers and they're marked. Did you get these done specially for
Oh,
us?
they're done
So
specially,
these are
absolutely.
from Have K's Flower School on the top of them. And anybody that's doing their homework or they're studying, it's great to have these highlighter markers, and obviously they're in the shape of a flower. So anybody, any of the kids that are watching, if you drop us an email later on, we'll make sure that we'll get one of these out in the post. Obviously you have to send me your address. So let me see who
You have James Murphy, do you know? Yeah,
Oh,
from
yeah,
Port. Oh, yeah, from Port
Arlington. Port
Yes, all the
Arlington.
way.
He was watching last night.
Was he?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, listen here. We have a big hello from
Yeah, this one.
Stephen, who's nearly 13.
Nearly 13, and he has a little brother,
Yes.
Ethan.
Ethan.
And there,
And then in Sligo.
Over the
Oh
west
my
they
God. Yeah. And what about Emma and Rose Diamond?
Oh, I think she was
all the way from Port Leash.
now, these three children I know are tuned in at the moment watching for you, Santi, they are.
Hayden,
Yeah,
Amelia,
yeah,
Noah,
yeah, and they're living in.
Ballyfermot. I
Yeah.
was in Ballyfermot last night.
Were you looking in the window at
I
them
was
three?
checking, yes.
Yeah.
I was looking at the bottom of the steps, but there was nobody on them.
No, there was no, they're really good kids. I hear they're really, really
Yeah.
good. So who else have we got here? Hold on 2 seconds. Oh, look at.
Oh, James. Hello, James. Who helps? He actually helps his father build
This is a great
building
kid.
the house.
I hear this is a great kid.
Yes, and his Nana Rose.
Yeah.
Yes,
his-
and his granddad Liam. Yeah.
And look, he has two
Oh, he has
cousins.
2 cousins, Rachel and Hazel. Happy Christmas.
And what are you bringing James for Christmas
Well, do you
this
know
year?
what school James goes to?
What school? How do you know what school?
Emo.
Oh, gee, that's
Yeah,
a great school.
absolutely.
But listen, what's he looking for?
Well, I think I was just checking the letters now. They were, I think it was Legos he was looking
Lego
for.
he was
Yes,
looking for.
yes,
Oh, there
yes.
you go. So who else?
Yeah, Jessica McKenna. Oh, and she's 8.
She's an 8-year-old.
She's next week when you'll be calling you at 9.
Which is nearly
Yeah,
9.
yes,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Now, we're not sure whether we had Grania and Knock or was it Granny Knock, so we're not too sure.
Well, we say Grania and Granny Knock.
So what I'm going to get, this is the last one, and then I'm going to get back to a wreath. So this is for a very special
Yeah,
boy.
this is, well, you know, just know, this is for Noah.
Yeah.
He's a very brave little boy.
He
Very,
is.
yeah, absolutely. And do you know where he's from?
No.
Mitchelstown in Cork.
Oh, up the rebels. Up
Oh,
the rebels.
absolutely.
We're all wearing the red and the white
Yeah,
tonight.
oh, absolutely. The red and white, up the rebels.
Yeah.
And, Matt, do you know what the mommy's doing?
What's the mommy doing?
Making dog biscuits.
Dog biscuits.
But I don't think I'd like dog biscuits.
No, I
for
wouldn't
Christmas.
like
Not
any
for
dog
Christmas,
biscuits.
though.
Absolutely
A
not.
bottle of stout with some carrots.
But you listen.
But you know, and if anybody wants to know how to make those dog biscuits, if they go following a really big journey,
A wheelie, so WHEELIE,
I-E,
a wheelie big journey. Follow them on Instagram, and his mum is giving lessons and classes on how to make the dog biscuits.
Oh,
Do you know
I
what?
must
Maybe
watch
get
that.
some for the Rudolph.
I certainly will. I certainly will. You know, I'm just going to go over now and check on the rest of my letters. Right?
Right, I'll hold these letters here, and I'm going to finish making this wreath.
Okay.
So what we have is some red velour ribbon, and again you can wrap it around as if it was you're wrapping it around somebody's neck, and you're bringing the back part into the front. Can you get the idea? And the idea is then that you scrunch it in the centre as tight and as squeeze it in, pucker it in, squash it, whatever way you want to describe it, and then get a skinny little piece of the green ribbon, and then you're going to tie that around the centre to get a double knot. Now, if there's anyone having any problems with the bows,
I think you might do that.
Okay.
But who's a Sarah? She's working. Did you get the bow, Sarah? Oh, she did actually.
All right, okay.
If,
if there is anybody having any problems, hold it up to the Zoom camera there. Deirdre can have a look at it, or put a comment, and Leah can give us a shout out there. And then you're able to kind of like open out your loops and pull down your two tails. Have you anyone watching there, Leah?
Yeah, I have a few people. So
Give us a big shout out there.
Ruth from Belfast. I have someone from Australia who's 43 today.
No, I think it's 43 degrees.
Oh, sorry.
Don't worry, you see, you can't get the good staff, you can't. Last night you weren't counting the pine cones, right? And tonight now, 43 years of age or 43 degrees. I don't know whether she'd be impressed or she'd be happy with that. We'll find out in a minute.
We have Dimpna she did a course here 30 years ago.
Oh my
She has
God.
great memories here.
Oh.
Big. What's her surname?
Dimpna.
No, it doesn't
Dunno.
matter. It doesn't matter. Big welcome back there, Dimpina.
Okay, and we're going to be saying hello from the Locker Valley, Queensland, who is same one.
She's
Okay.
over on Instagram as well, she is. So again, you can see I'm just with one of the tartan ribbons, and then I'm just going to get some skinny ribbon and I'm going to tie it around the centre. So hopefully at this stage, everybody has mastered at least one of the bows that was in their kit. I did send out 2 bows, I did, to give you kind of like a choice of which one you'd like to use. And if anybody wants to use both bows, you're more than welcome.
Sally Siggins is tuned in and she's watching in from Sligo and she's wondering where's Santi gone. He's
Oh,
gone
did
to
we
feed
back against
Rudolph.
Santi?
He's
Did
gone
you-
up to Mitchelstown to get some of those biscuits for Rudolph.
Absolutely. We hear that there's a lady down in Mitchelstown, she's making doggy biscuits, and Santi's gone off there to see will she send up a few there for Rudolph.
And on Instagram we had Elaine and she is watching in from, I think she said Cardiff.
Fair play to you. Big
Or not
welcome.
Instagram, sorry, YouTube she was.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my 2 skinny ribbons. I'm going to tie it around the bottom of the base, okay? And just to kind of show you, so there's our bow tied onto the wreath frame. And you have your 2 little skinny strings you see at the back. And the easiest thing for you to do now is rest the frame on the table upside down. Don't worry that the bow is getting squashed. Tie a double knot as tight as you possibly can. And then when you've tied the double knot, using your scissors, you can cut off any of the extra bits of ribbon that are still sticking out. Now when you turn your wreath back up the right way, you'll be able to then fix it. And the great thing about this ribbon here, there's like a wire inside it, and you can kind of fluff out the loops on the bow just to make it really, really nice. Now some of you may prefer to put your bow at the top of the wreath, and that's absolutely fine as well. Or some of you may like to do what we call a double bow. So this is where if you have another bow made in a different colour, and if you feel that it's going to complement it, get the 2 green skinny strings as well, tie it around the centre of the first bow, basically turn it upside down again, which means you're going to flatten the bow, but don't worry, we can go back and we can fix it. We're going to tie a double knot again at the back, nice and tight, and then I'm going to cut off the little strings that's left
Dale
over.
has the sweeping brush out, she's sweeping up already.
Has she got the wreath made? I know we were late starting tonight, but Jamie Mac.
She has her bow on and she
Fair
has
play
a
to you,
couple of
Gail.
picks
Fair
in.
play to you, Gail. So there you go. So there's our wreath with our bow on it. And to be honest, you could leave it like that. For somebody who just wants a very, very plain wreath, you could just leave the bow on it and you keep it nice and simple. So the next thing then is going back to your wreath, your bag of tricks, and seeing what Santi left in your bag for you. So in my particular bag, I have a couple of these gorgeous little velvet poinsettia heads. So what I'm going to do is, these are on nice strong stems. I'm going to show you how easy it is to get these flowers into your wreath. Now I'm going to hold it up in the air, but there's no need for you to hold it up in the air. So you get your stem and you stick it down through the frame. I'm hitting a branch, and I'm going to flatten the top of it there. You see that it's in place? And can you see where that stem came out the back? Now what we're going to do with the stem that came out the back is I'm going to bend it into a U bend, okay? So like into a letter U. So you can see me there the way I'm bending it over, and I'm going to stick the U bend back up into the back of the frame to secure it, so there's no wires or anything sticking out the back of your wreath. And then I'm going to get a second one, and I'm going to put it about here. Again, flatten it down. I'll hold it up so you can see the stem coming out the opposite side. I'm making a little hook again, sticking it back up into the frame, and there's our second poinsettia in place. And then I have a third one. I'm going to do the same thing, bash it down there into place. You can see the stem coming out the opposite side, I'm going to bend it over, stick it back up into the frame, and there I have the third poinsettia. And again, if you want, you could just leave it like that. You don't have to put anything extra in.
Gail said on the Zoomers, she says it's like a glitter bomb up in her
I
house.
can just imagine, because even here...
She's on the silver. She's working on silvers.
The silver is just...
And Angela said, is Santi on a beverage break? And Bernie Hurley said, it might be cold outside, but there's a glow in James Murphy's house tonight.
Oh, brilliant. Big hello to James Murphy. I hear he's a great little boy. Now, also in your bag of tricks, you may have little gadgets like these. We call them Christmas picks. So again, using the nice strong stem that's on the Christmas pick, we're able to insert it down into the frame, and where the wire comes out the opposite end of it, we're able to do again that U-bend hook, stick it back up into the frame, and can you see the way the pick now is in place? So you'll kind of cop on after a while, well hopefully you'll cop on after a while, is that everything is inserted into the wreath frame exactly the same. Now the thing is, there's an odd thing that you'll have in your bag and there won't be any wires on it, so that's what I'm going to show you next. So again, I just have 2 picks in there and a couple of poinsettias. But what if you have some pine cones, or I heard Santi calling these acorns earlier on. So the pine cones, these have to be wired on the bundle of wires that I added into your pack, okay? Now you've loads of wires and you'll probably have lots left over. So it means then, when we're finished this wreath, if you want to do another wreath, you can always use the wires and the extra ribbons that I sent out to you to help maybe start off your second wreath that you're going to make. Now to wire up the pine cone, if you look at your pine cone, you have what we call the petals, okay? And there's a space in between the petals and you're able to insert the wire in between the petals. And the best thing to do is leave a small little bit of wire sticking out at the beginning, and then the long piece of wire feeds in between the petals all the way around until it comes back around and it meets the short piece. You see that I started with.
Fiona Bow is still on our bow.
Is she? Well, should the name Fiona Bow? Fiona No Bow. So where these 2 wires crisscross over each other, I bet she's having 1 or 2 glasses, and that's what's slowing her down. Put the glass down, Fiona, and start making the bloody bow. So that's how you wire up your cone. Now Leah has, I think, a couple of call outs there, so I'll come back to the cones down in a second.
So Eileen says the weather outside is frightful, but a K-school is light.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant.
Margaret from Kilkenny.
Yeah.
Len from Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Mary from Kildare. Louise from Mayo. Anne from Limerick. And Janice says...
Jesus, we have a full house tonight. Now listen, all you that are watching, I hope you're clicking share on Facebook. Show us the
We had a lot more shares last night.
We did. Oh no, we didn't.
Oh yes, we did.
Oh no, we didn't. So our group tonight is going to beat last night's group, okay? So listen, everybody that's watching, click share. We really appreciate whether you click share or even tag somebody underneath that you feel would love to watch this class. So going back to our pine cones, again, you're placing the wire in between the petals of the pine cone, leaving a few centimetres of wire sticking out. The long section of the wire, you're going to wrap it around the pine cone in between the petals until it comes around and it nearly crisscrosses over the short bit of wire that you started with. And with the tops of your fingers, all you're going to do is 1, 2 twists of your fingers, stop, and that's the pine cone wired. Is there anybody stuck wiring the pine cones? Do you need me to show it to you again? Just comment in the comments. Again, Facebook, Leah's following the comments. Or again, on the Zoom class, hold up your pine cone to the camera there and let Deirdre see, do you need any help or are they turning out okay?
You seem to be doing okay. Sarah's house, how are you getting on? Is crowdy up there?
I hope they're doing the social distancing. Hope they're all wearing their masks.
They're in a bubble.
Oh, they're in a bubble.
They're in a bubble. They are.
And Leah has a shout out there.
Chris says the wine is going down. Fab. Love to all of you and love this video. You make my day, Jeanette.
Oh, thanks a million, Chris. Fair play to you.
And Helena Gilhooley has done a fabulous job, and she has white pine cones.
Oh, yeah, some of the pine cones are tipped in white. Go on, Leah.
Anita wants to know how many wreaths have you made this year?
How many wreaths have I made? Oh God, hundreds at this stage. Absolutely hundreds at this stage. And I'm going to try and get a few done with you tonight. So when you have all your pine cones wired, what you're going to do is decide where you want to place the pine cones. And you just get the wire of the pine cone, stick it down into the frame, and where the wire comes out through the other side, you do a little hook it back up into the frame like that U-bend, and there's your pine cone. And the great thing is you're able to manoeuvre the pine cone. And I find if you have some of the pine cones looking in towards the middle of the wreath frame, and then some of the pine cones looking more out towards the outside of the wreath frame, it stops that real kind of like severe circle that some people make. So obviously all the yous that are watching, you're going to have your cones zigzagged. Now what we tried to do now, the pixies were supposed to put 6 pine cones into your kit. So to let us know, how did it go on the counting? Because last night there was somebody got 8. There was some people got 11, you know that way, and then there was an odd person only got 5. So
And somebody today got 10.
Somebody today got 10. So let us know how many pine cones was actually in your kit. There was supposed to be 6, there was.
Mary from Dundalk has checked in and she
Hello,
said
Mary.
hello. She's over on Instagram and on Facebook. Okay, so we've lots of checks in on Facebook. Jo Muldrew, she's nearly completed her wreath, but she's an expert. She should be doing these.
She should be giving the classes.
At this
She should
stage.
be giving the classes at this stage, exactly.
Okay.
And this is what it looks like so far. Can you see with just the pine cones in it? So now it's a kind of case of looking at what else have you got in your bag. So some people have extra little picks that they can add in, and some people have some orange slices, you know what I mean, and they might like to add them in.
Okay, we have Camilla and she's in from Finland. I don't think we've ever had Finland.
That's the very first one person from Finland. So big hello, Camilla. And again, we'd love if you shared this video, and we might get a few more followers in Finland.
And we have our Auntie Edna is watching in.
Hiya, Auntie Edna. Listen, you all have to follow my Auntie Edna on TikTok. I don't know what she goes under. Now, whether that's a good suggestion or a bad suggestion, but she's as mad as a hatter. You think we're mad here? You want to see the Auntie Edna. So here we have our little orange slices, and what I'm going to do is insert the wire through one side until it comes out through the other and bend it over. And then where the 2 wires meet, you're going to grab the longest wire, you're going to wrap it around the shortest wire, and that's how easy it is to wire up the orange slices. So again, you get your orange slice, you stick your wire through one side until it comes out through the other, you bend it over until the 2 wires meet each other, and then you can wrap the long wire around the short wire, and then you have your orange slice wire.
That's it, just on our Zoom call, Christmas, I presume that's not your name, but anyway,
Okay.
that she's under, she's a fabulous Christmas jumper on and a gorgeous hat, and she's wiring up her oranges at the moment.
I think we
And
need
doing
to have
a
a big
fabulous job.
giveaway, Deirdre.
I think we need to have a giveaway.
Especially with the Zoom classes where we can actually see all their jumpers. So normally what we do is we have a prize for the best jumper, okay? So the best Christmas jumper. And what we're giving away, we have prizes for the kids, okay? But I think for the adults what we have is some online classes.
Yeah.
And this is where you can go and you can learn how to do your dining room table arrangement, your mantelpiece arrangement, maybe another type of door wreath, or maybe a little hat box or something. So we have a package put together, and again, it's what we call a Christmas bundle, and we'll be able to send you a link. So all you have to do is message us. So Deirdre will give a bit of a shout out there. Who has the nicest jumper, Deirdre?
But I think I'll have to give it to Christmas because hers is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know what her name is.
Okay,
but
so Mrs. Christmas.
Mrs.
Maybe
Christmas.
you've won the one of the prizes, and if there's another one there, is there
There
anybody
is,
else?
and Avril has a fabulous bow on her
Okay,
head,
so-
and I absolutely love it.
So
It's
later
flash
on,
lights.
when we're finished our wreath class, send us a message to say that you're one of our winners, and we'll send you out one of the online
And I have to
classes.
give Jeff's iPad is dressed up to the nines, but she's struggling with the bow.
Is she struggling with the bow? Is she?
So Jeff's iPad, I think we're going to give you an online course as well.
And you'll be able to see the bows in much more detail. So we have a few more call outs there from Leah. Go on.
So Josephine asked, where's it gone now? Oh, where could she buy them already made?
Most flower shops sell the wreaths already made, they do. And again, there's probably a couple of people that's actually in the group here that's watching, and when they make their wreaths tonight, they might post it up on the page, and you never know, they might sell it to you for a few bob. So again, what I'm doing, go on there, Leah.
Michelle said that she watched it last night and out tonight, and so did Siobhan. She's watching it again
Oh,
tonight.
jeez, you're watching a double whammy, you are. So here we go. There, I'm going to have a few other wreaths then tonight. I'm going to make them a bit different tonight than what I did last night. And then, again, anybody that watched tonight, you can always go back and you can watch last night's one. So again, you can add in as many or as little decoration as you choose to do. And then if you want to make a hanger for hanging it on the wall, so what we have is, I can't read that because it's in Irish. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a length ribbon, and this is for making a hanger on the door. So I'll have to get Deirdre then to call that person's name out.
No, keep going, go on.
So we're going to get our length of ribbon, we're going to bring it in through the centre, but what I want you to make sure that you don't do is that you wrap it around the fruits or your decorations and hide it. So what you're going to do is kind of like tuck it in among the greenery, to hide it, and to see the way the ribbon then has come around the hook, right? And what I find really easy to do is if you actually tie a knot now at this stage, a single knot is absolutely fine, okay? So you can see that I just have it tied into a knot. Well, then you can use the extra pieces of ribbon to make a hook then to hang on your knockers. So has everybody got their knockers there? So, we have a little boy watching.
No, but they're not little. They're actually quite
they're
big.
big boys, aren't
Yeah.
they? So we have Neil, Gavin and Dermot, and they're down in County Cork, I think, in Coomgira. So big welcome to us. And I bet they want Santi to give a call out.
I'd say they probably done, and our Mama Raid is watching in at the moment.
Big hello, Mairead. Big welcome to you. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to tie these two pieces of string together to make a little hook. So I'm just kind of tying a double knot. I'm then going to just make sure that my knot is nice and tight. I'm going to trim off the ribbons that's left over. And can you see the way we've made a little hanger then to hang it on the door?
Okay, well, Jennifer O'Neill's daughter, Jessica, who's only 7, is actually teaching her mom how to make the wreath.
Isn't she
so there you
brilliant?
go.
So I think Jessica deserves a prize.
I think she does.
So you need to message us later on and put in that Jessica is age, whatever, her address, and we're going to send off. Have you got any more of them Santi markers there, Santi?
Oh, there's loads of Santi markers in the bag.
Okay, so we're going to send off a special Santi highlighter pen to Jessica. So off you go there, Leah.
Katie O'Shea asked, how could you add a photo to the live?
Okay, in the comments.
In the comments on the left hand side, you'll see a little camera, little sign, and if you click on that, you're able to add in a little photograph.
So anyone that does add a comment with their picture of their Christmas jumper is going to get a prize.
Now, Santi half started this wreath earlier on, okay? So this was a bow that was already made. So this time I'm going to show you where we can have the bow at the very top of the wreath instead. So again, I'm inserting it in exactly the same way, and where the wire is coming through the other end, I'm hooking it to see back into the frame. Now, Santi had these gorgeous poinsettias, and these are like a handmade
Did you take
poinsettia.
apart his wreath?
I took apart his wreath. He was making a bags of it, he was. And these are little handmade poinsettias. I have kind of 3 of them there in kind of like tartan and a little bit of glitter or whatever. And I know I sent these out, the Pixies sent these out in some of the kit bags. And they came in silver, they came in gold, they came in kind of a champagne blush. And there's different ways of using these flowers. So I'm going to do a traditional to start off with, and I'm going to divide up the 3 flowers evenly kind of around a wreath frame. So you can see there I have 1 at the bottom, I'm going to put 1 on the right and 1 on the left. So yes, Leah?
Amanda asked, how can you put the Merry Christmas onto the wreath?
Now, Jeanette, that's Amanda.
Amanda Carney.
Yes.
Well, big. Do you know what, Amanda? Hold on off the camera for a second. So we were doing, actually we were getting interviewed today, and Deirdre was doing an interview with one of the journalists, and the door buzzed or whatever, and in all the commotion, this parcel arrived at the door. Now we hadn't opened up the card, and when we opened up inside, we seen the gorgeous mince pies. Now when I say that these are Deirdre's
We had just had them for
we just had one earlier on with our cup of tea. The 3 of us here, Leah, Deirdre and myself, we were just after having one of the mince pie crumbles from the cupcake bloke around the corner. So he says, oh God, he must have sent them in to us to give him a shout out tonight. That's seriously what we thought. And the boxes there, we said, God, we'll have them later on, because they also came with the brandy butter, which I haven't actually tried yet. We're going to have these tonight, by the way. And then we opened the card, and it was, thank you from Amanda in Cork for the lovely Dory, Amanda Carney. So listen, thanks a million. You really made our day. And you know what? You obviously know us so well, but you know that we're probably one of the best customers for the cupcake blow. So back to our wreath. What I'm going to do is add in 3, go on.
Anne just asked, where can you get the orange slices?
The orange slices, do you know what? The likes of Lidl, Aldi and all the supermarkets, they're actually all selling the dried fruits, but also your local flower shop, they would have them as well. So this is just to show you what it looks like. Can you see with the 3 poinsettia flowers? And then what I'm going to do, Santi left the spell behind, he did. Now what I have is a load of pine cones, and I'm going to add in a couple of pine cones in and out between our poinsettia flowers. So as I said, this is a very, very simple wreath to make up. Literally 3 flowers that have to be wired. And again, if anybody has them on the Zoom class, I'd say anyone that maybe got a silver wreath, Amanda ordered a silver wreath, because I know there was a bit of a mix-up on Amanda's wreath, and that's how I recognised the name. But I know she particularly wanted one of the silver ones. So you can add in as many cones as you wish into the wreath. As I said, the Pixies were supposed to put 6 in the box, but some of them, again, a bit like Santi, they made a little bit of a haze of it, and it's got all sorts of numbers you did. But can you see so far with a couple of pine cones going through that? And again, I'm just going to add in a few little ones, and I will come back to you on that Happy Christmas sign. I think, Leah, you sorted out the Happy Christmas signs there for me earlier on today.
I did.
You might be able to find one for me, love.
Yeah.
And then we'd be able to...
Trace is watching in from Vancouver again.
Hiya Trace, how are you? How did your mother-in-law get on last night? Give us a comment. Did she enjoy the wreath? Did she make it? You know the way, how did she find the class?
Fiona Ryan says Deals has the orange slices as well.
Brilliant. Thanks a million, Fiona Ryan. Fair play to you. So these are the happy Christmas signs, and I will show you how to actually add them onto the wreath. And if anybody is passing, I'm not going to post them out, but if anybody is passing by and wants to just knock in, and not over the weekend, on Monday or Tuesday, I can give you one of these because I've a load of them there I should have added them into the kits. Now again, just to let you see, there's a very simple wreath made with a couple of poinsettias, and Deirdre calls this ribbon Rupert the Bear. Now unless you're our age, you won't remember who Rupert the Bear was, but some of you do. I know Fiona Bowe and Adrienne Lacey, or Adrienne.
Oh, they're a lot older than me.
They're a lot older than
yeah.
us. They'd remember Rupert the Bear.
They're back in the black and white days.
So again, I'm coming around the wreath frame with a length of ribbon, just need to make like our door hanger on it. Again, I'm going to cut the two pieces there. I'm going to tie a knot, okay, to catch it onto the door frame. And then our two pieces of ribbon here, I'm going to tie a knot, and there it's ready to hang on the door.
I love Craft Box on Instagram is telling us that Deals have orange slices, cinnamon sticks, holly, berries, all of that sort of stuff.
Brilliant, fair play to you. And again, like, use the page there to share any places that you know that are actually selling all the materials. So again, we're going to leave that one to one side, and I'm just going to get another base. So I always like with the Christmas ones to do something a little bit different, okay? So what I have, in under the table here, is I have a lot of kind of like, they're kind of like rose gold. So we bought these baubles.
Go on, keep going.
That was somebody coming in.
No, yeah, go on.
So we bought these baubles in IKEA, and they're a cross between a pink and a gold. You know that way? They're probably more of a rose gold. And then I had a little reindeer. Now the reindeer was pink, and I just sprayed that side of them with rose gold myself. And then these are, what are these called again? Oh, the alliums. So these are the alliums that you've seen me use throughout the year in some of my other arrangements. And again, I gave them a dash of the rose gold spray. And I have some organza tulle in kind of a burgundy sort of wine colour. So I'm going to make my bow with this. So again, around the neck. Grab the back of the neck, bring it into the front. You can adjust the size of the bow, you see, just by pulling the tails. Now another way of making your bow is to add a wire around the centre of it. So this is where we're going to wrap the wire around the centre. We're going to pull the two pieces of wire together nice and tight. We're going to squash them, and we're going to wrap one wire around the other. Actually, Santi, I've just got word that there's another couple of kids there that want you to give the shout out. So I'll call out their names for you. And actually, she'll do it from there. Santi is drinking over in the corner, he is. So Santi, call her out there nice and loud now that the children can hear you.
Hello, Killian.
Killian.
Orla, Ashley, and Connor.
And where are they?
Owen and Alfie. Aoife. Sorry about that,
Jesus,
Alfie.
Santi, can you not read? Can you not read?
All the way from Wexford.
Oh,
The sunny southeast.
The sunny southeast.
And do you know what? I actually think those kids now have helped us out.
They have, them kids have helped us out quite a lot. So I think they deserve a magic marker as well.
I think so too.
So what we need
but there's a lot of them in that house now.
Ashley, listen, sure, Santi, can you send out as many kids as there?
6 of them.
Six
kids,
Who
yeah.
in this day and age has 6 kids? Can you send out 6 markers,
I can
Santi?
send out no problem.
Okay, so send us on your address, and we're going to send out 6 markers to that house. Now this time I have all the baubles wired just to save time, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the baubles on in groups of 3. So I'm using the same technique of inserting the wires down into the frame, hooking it up underneath, but what I'm doing is I'm keeping 3 of the baubles together in a group. I'll hold it up now in a second just to show you what I'm doing. Leah has a little shout out there for us. Have you, Leah?
Elizabeth said, poor Santi is exhausted.
He is exhausted. I tell you, 2 nights on the trot for him, you know that way. And as I said, he's hitting the hard stuff, he is. He wanted to pop into the circular pub across the road. They're doing takeaway pints, they are. Takeaway pints of Guinness.
They're probably open tonight.
We wouldn't let him. I dragged him past the door. I said, will you stop? I said, you have to get into Kate's Flower School and start this wreath making class. And who else have we got there, Leah?
Patrick says, hi and ho 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 from Mary and the Kellys in Wexford.
Ho ho ho, big hello to you. Give them all a big shout out there.
Ho ho ho, all the way down to Wexford.
Jesus, we must have half of Wexford, have we? Last night it was Sligo, but tonight it's Wexford, it is. So we have all our fans and all our followers we have. So again, just to show you, can you see the way I'm putting the baubles on in groups? So I'm putting 3 of them together. Now listen, have a look around. I bet your Christmas tree is behind you, or it's in the same room, and there's probably loads of baubles there, and you fancy them, and you stick them onto your Christmas tree.
Emma Russell is saying say hello to Emma, Connor, Shane, Coffee, and they're down in Youghal.
In
and
County Cork.
in County Cork.
Jesus, half of Cork is
Helen
actually
Sullivan is on, and she's saying hello to Sandy and Heritage. The Cupcake Bloke's Mammy is
Mammy
on.
is on. So Amanda, when you ordered the cupcakes earlier on, the Mammy cupcake is actually tuned in tonight. So again, just to show you where I put on the baubles there in groups. So now I have a couple of these little alliums, which I've wired as well. And again, I'm just going to add the little alliums in between the baubles. And this is all just for different types of texture. So the alliums is giving us our lovely spiky sort of texture. Our baubles, like we have the glistening ones, we have the lace ones, we have a couple of smooth ones, and again it's just going to make it just that extra little bit interesting. Because last night I done completely different colours last night. Are you sure? Are you ready for us there, Deirdre?
Yeah, we have Brenda is on, and she's saying it's a gorgeous colour. She loves that
It
colour.
is different, isn't it?
Emma Rose is on. Can you ask Santi to say hello to Jessica? And
Okay.
Jessica Rose, and she's in Westport, Santi. Santi.
Oh, hello, Jessica. How are you? A very, very happy Christmas.
There we go. Because Emma Rose was on last night, and you did a shout out for. I think she's the one looking for the telly, isn't it?
That's right.
Is that Emma Rose? Is that the right Emma Rose that was looking for the telly last night? Oh, Santi, what do you think, Santi? Do you think you'll be able to get her a telly?
Well, now she's going to have to be very, very good.
So listen, what's happening with the pandemic up in the North Pole, Santi? What's happening up there? Are you coping or what's?
Oh, we're coping well.
And how's the elves getting on?
Well, as long as you don't get any taller, they'll be grand.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
what'll
no.
happen if they get taller?
Well, it means they have to keep them further apart.
So they're keeping the 2 metre distance,
Oh,
aren't
they'll
they,
keep
the
the
little
2
elves?
metre distance,
Fair
yes.
play to them. So what I'm now adding in is a couple of the pine cones, and again I got the tin of spray at the pine cones, and I gave them all a dash of the gold as well. So Leah has a few shout outs there, Leah, have
So
you?
Caroline asked Santi to say hello to Daniel and Lisa.
Okay, and it's Daniel and Lisa looking for a magic marker as well. So any of the kids that are getting a shout out tonight, get your mum and dad to send us an email or a message with their address, and we're going to send out a magic marker to you as well. So who have you got there, Santi?
Hello, Daniel. Hello, Lisa. How are you? Happy Christmas.
Well, where
Hang on.
One.
You know, said stay there because you have a few more to shout out.
Okay, you've a few more letters there. Come on, Santi.
Well,
while I
we have what do you call it, Jessica? Happy Christmas, Jessica.
And who else have you
I
got
hope,
there?
well, we still have that young lad, James Murphy.
His name's had to come
He's
back.
had to
up
come
again.
back.
Genie Mac.
He must have been a good boy. How are you, James, from Port Arlington?
But you know what? I think in the bag there's a few other presents, isn't there?
Actually, do we have lots of
Have a
presents?
look in the
Yes.
bag there and see what else you have down there, Santi. You never know. And we could organise them, and we could organise. Now, the thing is, there's going to be a round. There won't be presents for everybody. There'll be a magic marker for everybody.
This will be a surprise.
That's going to be a surprise.
That's going to be a surprise.
It might be a surprise. There might be nothing in the bag. It might be a bag of rubbish.
It would be a bag of bushes.
It might be a bag. Oh no, James Murphy is a really good
I know,
kid.
he's a really
He's
good lad.
kid.
Absolutely, yes.
So again, just to let you see how this wreath is coming together, and then I have my little reindeer. As I said, he's glistening on one side, and I sprayed him rose gold on the other. What do you think, Deirdre? Will I go for glistening or smooth?
Glistening.
Glistening.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Ah,
this
so we
is
have to
colour
go with the
looking at.
sparkle.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to catch a wire around the hind leg of one side of the reindeer. So I'm basically just hooking it around, and a few little twists. Well, I was. Second reindeers. Is this reindeer related to your reindeer, Santi? Is he?
Santi,
I don't know. Are you looking after my wreath?
over on Instagram, I think it's Olive Mulholland. OT Mulholland is saying, could Santi give a shout out to the elves, Polly and Barney, that they're really naughty elves because they're the elves that are in Aveen and Owen's house.
And they've been really
really
naughty,
naughty. Yeah.
Oh,
So
them-
Polly
that's
and
them elf on the shelves.
the elf on the shelf, yeah, Polly and
Oh,
Barney.
okay.
So you might have a word with them, Santi, when you get a chance, them elves.
Of course we will.
Trish said.
Polly and who?
Polly and Barney are the naughty elves.
Hello, Polly.
No.
Hello, Barney.
No, they're the elves. You have to tell them to be good.
I am going to tell them to be good. They're going to have to sit on the bottom step, I think, if they keep it up.
They'll be thrown out the back garden. Lisa Murphy, Cahill and Killian Donoghue watching in, 8-year-old twins in Delvin.
Is that Roberta's twins, is it? No?
Lisa Murphy,
Oh,
no.
no, sorry, wrong person.
No.
But again, I'm going to make a co-hanger for this one. What are you thinking of this one anyway, with our little reindeer in the centre? So again, I'm using my piece of ribbon, catching it around the frame, hooking it in under the foliage, bringing it up there, and I'm going to tie the two of these in a knot. and then I can make my little handle on it, and that will be ready then to hang on your door. Now for hanging on your door, what you should get is what we call a command hook. And you can get a command hook in the likes of Lenihan's, Mr. Price, Woody's, where else, Deirdre? Eurosaver,
Lenihan's, yeah.
all them shops. Anybody else that knows where you can get the command hooks, post it there in the comments. And again, that's another little reach that we have. So have we time to do another one, Deirdre?
I think you have, yeah.
Absolutely. So this time, when we go for something flashy, last night we did a flashy one. I think I've done an all pink one. But tonight we have a blue one as well. That could be for up the dubs, okay? 5 in a row or 6 in a row. Last night I already did a pink one. So I think what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to go mad all together, and I'm going to mix the two colours, and I'm going to do a pink and a blue one. So I have some organza, some silver organza here, and what I'm going to do is just open it out, and I'm going to make, Santi is talking in the corner and he's distracting us, he is. And we're going to make a little bow then again with our silver organza. So we're just going to wrap this around. Again, I'm using a wire, but you could use the skinny little piece of ribbon if you prefer. So wrap it around. And as I said, the great thing about the organza, you're able to fluff it out. And like if your tails are too long, all you have to do is get your scissors, give them a little trim, pretend you're a hairdresser. And the biggest decision you have to make, are you going to put your bow at the bottom of your door wreath, or are you going to put the bow at the top of your door wreath? So you can see there so far with the 3 of them that I've done earlier on, I've kind of like mixed it around just to kind of make it a little bit more interesting for you. Now I also have a lovely glistening silver ribbon, and you'll be covered in glitter if you have this one. So again, we're making our collar bow. We're bringing the back of the collar into the front. We're going to scrunch it in there, nice and tight in the centre.
Oh, they're all loving this one, Jeanette.
We're going to get a wire. Santi, Mrs. Claus is talking over there in the corner and she's distracting. We're going to wrap a wire around the centre. We're going to squeeze the wire together, wrap one wire around the other. And again, I'm going to show you a little trick here, just to fancy off the corners. Is if you get your piece of ribbon and you fold it over in half, what you can do is get your scissors and cut like a 45-degree angle, and you see the way you get that lovely V there. And the same thing over here is if we fold this over in half, and if we cut that on a 45-degree angle, can you see the way you get that lovely little V shape at the bottom? So what I'm now going to do is place our glistening bow on top of our organza bow, and this is going to give us plenty of bling. Now this ribbon, this wreath when it's made, is not going to be everybody's taste, as I understand. It is going to be a little bit flashy. So this is what it looks like so far with our silver glistening bow, and then also our organza bow in just a tulle. So now I have some pink baubles. So what I'm going to do is put on groups, okay, with the baubles. I'm going to put on some pink ones, and I'm going to put on some blue ones. So I'm going to put them on in groups of 3. So I'm just randomly picking up 3 baubles off the table, 3 different baubles if possible. So again, you know sometimes when you're going around shops or you're in hotels and they have the Christmas tree and it's done absolutely gorgeous on baubles, should there be no harm at all if some of them baubles fell off the Christmas tree into your handbag, while you were sanitising your hands, of course, you know that way. And then again, you could add them to your Christmas tree or add them to your door wreath when you go home. And we're half joking and half jesting there. How's the Zoom classes getting on, Deirdre?
The Zoomers are absolutely fine.
Are they finished their wreaths yet? Now I'm on my 4th one, you know that way, so how are they all going? Now again, you can just kind of see how the baubles are going onto a wreath. We're just going to keep turning it around, and as I said, I'm putting on groups of these baubles. I'm mixing the colours, and I'm trying to mix the textures of the baubles as well, so that, you know, I mean, just to make it, as I said, little bits of texture, little bits of shades and so on. So has Santi got a few more shout outs there for us, Deirdre, has he? Or Leah, have you got a few shout outs for us?
Yeah, a few.
Go on, off you go.
Everyone's going to say up the dubs and...
Up the dubs, alright.
What about Mayo and Waterford are playing, or Mayo and Tipperary?
Mayo and Tipperary are playing at the moment, are they?
Yeah, and Emer goes buzzing for the 6 dozen up the dubs.
Up the dubs, alright. And what about you, Deirdre? Have you any calls there?
Yeah, they're looking for the pink for the dubs. Abigail is laughing. Bernie Hurley, I'm dizzy watching you on your phone. Somebody else said, Jeanette, you're like a Duracell bunny. Okay, with the flashy. No, they like the flashy. Oh, Nadine loves this one.
This is going to be really, really mad. Is that Nadine Reid, is
Yeah.
it? So Nadine, a big happy birthday to Minnie. So Minnie was 95 today. So you know Nadine?
I do, yes.
So Minnie, the lady who they lived together, she was a big 95 yesterday or the day before.
Yesterday, I think it was. Oh, maybe
And
it was the day before.
Minnie is always on Facebook, and like during the quarantine, Nadine was washing her hair and putting the rollers in, and we all got to see it. Now they're supposed to be making their wreath at home tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. Are they, Nadine? Are you making your wreath, or are you taking
so
it easy?
Santi there and give us a few shout outs. What I'm doing is I'm adding some pine cones into our dough wreath, and I have these pine cone sprays, cerise pink, again to be nice and flashy.
Hello, Mandy. How are you? Now we have wish a happy Christmas to Ruby, Paige, and Jessica. A very happy Christmas.
Brilliant.
Yes, and what about these here? Julianne and Barbara in Stepaside.
Oh my
I
God.
hope you're behaving yourself there in
I wonder
Stepaside.
are they drinking down around
Oh, I
there?
hope not. I hope not.
I hope not. I hope
Oh,
they're supposed
God.
to be working on a wreath tonight. I know that they're supposed to be making the dough
Absolutely.
wreath.
And I want to say hello to Jasmine, Alfie, Bethany, Arthur, Kimberly, Grace, and Ruben. A very
And the
happy
next page.
Christmas.
Okay, and who's the next way?
Now Santa says hello to Fiona, and our granddaughter.
Yvonne's granddaughter.
Oh, Yvonne, is it?
Yeah.
Our granddaughter Jessica, who's having a sleepover.
Isn't that
Oh,
brilliant? So ho ho Jessica, and make
Ho,
sure you
ho,
go to
ho.
bed early and don't keep your granny up all night, especially if she's supposed to be making her dough wreath. And so just to show you so far,
No.
this is what it looks like to see with the cerise pink cones going in and out through it. Now also what I have is some silver pine cones. So I'm going to add some silver pine cones in and out through that, because I also have some silver bling to add. Actually, there's a company called Silver Bling. I'm going to add a little bit of silver in and out through it to pick up the glistening in our bowl. So Leah has a couple of shout outs there for us. Leah, have you?
So Heather says that Izzy, who's making her communion in the morning.
Oh, that's right. We've seen that. We have Izzy down in Cove in County Cork. And I know there's a message for her brothers and sisters as well. And we have to send Izzy a prize as well, Santi, you will.
Oh,
and make sure,
yeah.
Izzy, that your mum sends on your address. And I know you have, I think, brothers and sisters. Send it on to us and we'll get you all sorted out.
The Skin Nerd has checked in on Facebook or
So
on
big-
Instagram.
Big hello,
And
Jennifer Rock. How are you?
when we were
Is
doing-
Is she looking for anything from Santi? Is she?
I don't know what she's looking from Santi, but Jennifer was very good to us when we were doing our breast
When
cancer
we were,
month. Yeah.
and, like everybody who loved, do you remember the cleansing mitts, the pink cleansing mitts? That was Jennifer Nerd on the skin, Jennifer Rock, the Skin Nerd. She actually sent them all on to us complimentary for all our giveaway prizes. Really appreciated, Jennifer. Thanks a million.
Mary Burns says, come on, Cavan, beat the dubs. Bernie McCabe said, your dad must be baking in that suit. He absolutely is. He's
That's
the...
Santi, that's Santi.
Yeah, actually, well, he's not my dad. What are you talking about? Janice Finnerty says, Hayden and Amelia are loving the super colourful one.
Are they loving that
Nadine,
one?
I can't keep up with you guys. She's going to watch us on Catch Up tomorrow.
And what we have is we have a link is where for anybody then that's just too busy or maybe who didn't get a chance to do their reach tonight but would like to do it maybe at a later stage, what we have is a link. So if you go to our website, so make sure you write this down, go to our website, flowerschoolireland.com. Look for the button that says the wreath making kit. And if you scroll down to the very bottom of that page, we have what we call a surprise page. And that's where there's lots of little free videos. You'll be able to click on there and you can have a look at what's actually all, like a few other designs that you can do for decorating your house. Now again, Santi's back he is.
All the way from our mom, you have Grace and Ruben. Big happy Christmas. And also Hayden and Imelda. Big happy Christmas.
Amelia, I said.
Amelia.
And they have a little brother. Obviously, the brother is asleep.
Is he asleep?
Noah,
What?
Noah is asleep.
Oh Noah, happy Christmas Noah, when you wake up.
I have to say, Jeanette, our Zoomers are absolutely flying.
Are they flying?
Hold up their wreaths in front of the camera so we can see. Oh,
Now, I have a lovely little fairy here. You know that way, a little ballerina fairy.
Fabulous. Gail's, oh my God, Gail, that's beautiful. Silvers, and Helena has purples and silvers, and Sarah has red and gold. We're waiting on the others, and then Christmas, you have the Tutti Frutti, it's beautiful. I love
How
it.
did he manage the slices? Were they
And
actually
Jeff's side has, that's gorgeous. She has the white cones with the red baubles.
lovely? Make sure you post a photograph, and even if you put it up on Instagram and then tag us on Instagram, we'll share it, and we'll obviously go over and follow your page as well. So that little fairy princess, I just wired her. I just put a little wire around her waist, and can you see the way she's sitting there in the centre of the arrangement? And then have we got a Merry Christmas sign? It doesn't really need it, does it?
No, but they want to know how to put
you
it
want
on.
to know how to wire it. Okay, so I'm going to put it onto it. So I sprayed this silver. Do you remember I showed you the ones earlier on that were colourful? This one was colourful as well. I just sprayed it with silver spray. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook a wire around between the top row and the bottom row. There's a little bit of plastic there. So I'm just hooking it through and I'm just going to twist the wires to see together, like how I wired the pine cone. And on this side, between the top layer and the bottom layer, kind of in where that piece of holly is, again, I'm going to hook the wire around, and again, I'm just going to twist the wires together, and that's where I have a wire, to see, coming out of both sides. So then what I'm going to do is lie that across the wreath frame, and one of the wires will go through one side of it, so I'm going to plonk it down through all the decorations. There's lots of decorations on this one. And then I'm going to wire the second one on the opposite side. And that's how you get the Merry Christmas sign on. And you see me earlier on where I put the reindeer onto it. So there you go, there's our little Merry Christmas sign going across it. The other thing that we can do, if you pass me, I don't know, I just need a length of ribbon to make a little hanger for this one. So go on there, Leah.
Mandy said Santa's after making her nice, and everyone loves this colour.
Not green, Deirdre.
Oh, sorry.
Cerise pink is perfect. See the third one in there. Go on there, Leah, shout out.
So Mandy said that Santa's after making her nice, and everyone is loving this colour.
Brilliant. Oh, thanks. Because as I said, it's not going to be the flashy, or it's not going. It is a flashy colour. It's not going to be the most popular one. But last night I did like a cerise pink one just to show, and then last night I also did one like for a grave. So again, if you missed that one last night, I just didn't want the two nights to be exactly the same, in case you thought it was kind of like rehearsed. So we're just going, there's definitely no rehearsing done here. It'll be all right on the night, as you say. So again, we have our cerise pink ribbon cut through it. I'm going to tie our double knot here at the top. I'm going to trim off our little spare pieces of ribbon. And there we have our hanger then, all ready to hang onto the command hook, or one of the hooks that you can buy for your door. So that's 4 wreaths, so we're just under the hour we are. So we have our flashy pinks and blues. We have our poinsettia, you know, with the kind of like champagnes and golds and a little bit of tartan. We have our traditional red one, which we started off with. And we also have our rose gold one. I actually like this one myself. The rose gold one with the reindeer in the centre. So, did you learn anything tonight? Did you get any ideas? That's what we want to know.
Okay, Lillian wants to know, ladies, you should host an entertainment show on the TV based around flowers. Oh, Jesus, we'd have a nervous breakdown.
I wouldn't be. I'm wrecked after this.
Caroline Kenny, such a pleasure to watch you all over on Instagram.
Caroline, thank you.
Again, congratulations on a great night's work. Okay, our Zoomers, I'd love to see all your wreaths up so we can get a picture of you.
So all the Zoomers, what you're going to do is get your wreath, hold it onto the screen. You can have your face in it as well. We'd love to get your face in it. But if you don't want to put your face in, hold your wreath up close to the screen. Everybody smile when I say smile. Have you got them held up yet, there?
Not yet, no.
Okay, come on, get your wreath up to the
Jeff's
screen.
iPad.
Come on, Jeff, hurry up.
Fiona Bow. Where's
Fiona
your
Bow,
wreath?
put down the glass and lift up the wreath, will you? And hold it up to the screen. Is she making faces, is she? And then when I tell you to smile, I want a big, big, happy smile. So hip, hip, hooray! Big, big smile. Deirdre's taking your photograph and she's going to post it now on Facebook and Instagram later on.
Gorgeous.
Trish Penny said you should go on Google Box.
Google Box, Goggle Box.
Goggle Box.
Jesus, I never should.
Yes.
We've
Wait.
Santi back again.
We have a guest. A big happy Christmas to Pablo and Sophia.
Oh.
Have a nice day.
Happy Christmas, Pablo.
Happy
and
Christmas to you.
Well, listen, you had a busy night there, Santi.
Oh,
I tell you.
look
And you
at
know
that,
what?
huh?
You did well.
Can
There's
I
still
just-
loads of presents in the bag.
Before they go, we have, so for all of you that have tuned in and that are still tuned in, so on Facebook, our numbers have gone down a little bit, but anyone that is still tuned in, if you go, we have a secret page on the website. If you go to the wreath making page on our website, scroll to the very bottom and you will get a link that will bring you to 2 free courses. So 2 free Christmas arrangements. So go to the website, wreath making kit, scroll to the bottom.
Page, and you'll find the classes.
And
there.
that's our Christmas present to every one of you.
And a huge, huge thanks to everybody for all the support that we've had throughout the year. It has been a mixed up year for everybody, I understand. And I know last March with the quarantine and the lockdown, we immediately thought the business was going to be gone. We turned it online. We weren't sure how successful it was going to be. It turned out to be really, really successful. I think on Tuesday we might be in the Independent, so fingers crossed.
Monday.
Sorry, next Monday. look out for us in the Independent newspaper. Last week we were in the Times, and the week after we're going to be on Nationwide. So we'll remind you all about that. You quick shout out there, Leah.
Geraldine just asked, have you ever put LED lights on?
Yes, we have done that lots of times. Don't have a set here handy. And again, some of the students that were tuned in last night, they actually put lights onto theirs.
And the very last thing, next Friday morning at 11 o'clock, we will be live and we're decorating Jeanette's mantelpiece.
Okay, so to next week, it's at home with Jeanette. Okay, that's what it's going to be. We're going to work from my home, and I'm going to show you how we can decorate a mantelpiece. So again, it's going to be a live class, 11 o'clock next Friday, okay? And listen, it's goodbye from us. Listen, thanks a million for tuning in. We really, really appreciate it. Hope you all have an absolutely happy and wonderful Christmas. Go on, Leah.
Fiona said, thank you. Thank you, girls, for keeping me going during lockdown. I've followed you since March.
Thanks very much, Fiona. And the thing is, what you don't realise is you have kept us going as well. And you know what? We've one special guest here tonight that hasn't come on. Come, Mrs. Claus, come over here. So this is Mrs. Claus, our Nanny K, as we call her, right? So here's me. Have you any presents, have you?
No, I never got sent. You never brought me.
But you know what? Take up the bag there, you know, that way. And maybe you could organise, to post out some of the presents to the kids.
Of course, yeah.
Because these are all little supplies. Of course they're good kids. We only get good kids at Case Blair School.
Oh, right. Yeah,
So will you make
that's
sure
what I
that Santi gets to send out all the presents
What's
there?
in the bag?
It's a surprise.
So any kids that got a call out, make sure that their mammies, daddies, aunties, uncles, nannies, grandas, whoever shouted them out, send us a PM or a DM and we will send them all a
and
surprise.
try and make sure it's Dublin or England, okay?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Or Dublin or the UK, or Ireland or the UK is what I meant to say. Like, don't start getting them to Australia. You won't have them in time for next Christmas, you won't. So really, we'll try and keep the Santi prizes for the kids between the UK and Ireland, if possible.
Okay.
So listen, we're going to say goodbye now. Thanks a million, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the class. Make sure to share us on Facebook. Make sure to comment below, tag people, let us know what's happening, and we'll keep you all in touch. So bye, see you all. Thanks a million. Bye bye. Happy Christmas. And here is Deirdre now to say goodbye.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Oh, merciful